Oh, you're here? I don't know anybody was going to be listening. I hope nobody's heard the rest of the episodes. None of the other episodes of this are supposed to be going out. I'm banking these for later release throughout the course of my life. And I'll bank up enough so that they go way past when I actually die. It's going to be to the point where people are like, how the fuck is this guy's podcast still going? He died like 30 years ago. And every week I'm just like, hey guys. Like everybody else dies, but the podcast keeps going. And suddenly you start to think, well, what kind of world am I leaving for this podcast? Forget my children. But, you know, if you insist on being here, then I guess I'll throw some ideas your way. One of the things I was going to say is I was in the shower earlier. I was kind of thinking maybe there was another thing I meant to do here in the bathroom and I should have done it first. Do you know when you take a shower and you're like, there was no point because now I'm going to do the dirtiest thing that my body can do. This is all for nothing. This is all a waste. This was actually in the demo for Ironic, but Alanis Morissette decided to take it out. I'm of the belief God did not create your butt. God did everything else. He designed the digestive system very meticulously and very precisely. And then he saw what it made, and he's like, oh, that's gross. And then he just gave up. He's like, forget this. So then Satan comes along, he's like, this thing definitely needs to have an ass. This is truly what I believe. No, but in the Gnostic creation story, it takes a ton of guys to make a body. You got like dozens of archons coming in being like, okay, this is the guy who's going to make the left thumb, and his friend who's going to make the right thumb. It's like, first of all, you can split the talent pool in half on this project. You can streamline this easily. You can have one guy make the eye on both sides of the body, but they get two guys for different hemispheres. I would read the names of these beings because they're fucking ridiculous. But I feel like if I say them, I'm gonna summon them. So I don't want a guy showing up here being like, hey, do you need a right pinky toe? It's like, no, but I guess if I need one in reserve, I'll take it, thank you. Cthulhu, or whatever the fuck your name is. Why don't you go back to the pleroma and leave me alone with your body parts? So it takes all these guys, and it's not even really... I mean, look, it's not really that good, the human body. A lot of problems. Of course, the real way that human beings came into existence, which we all know, is that in prehistoric times, the wind made a shape of a little stick figure in the sand, and lightning struck the sand, and just take it from there, you know? So, when you see a stick figure, be like, that's my grandpa. Look, I'm just telling you what's going on. I'm giving it to you straight. I've never lied to you. I've never lied on the podcast. Everything I've said in this episode, if it seemed like it was a lie, if it seemed like it was dishonest, that's satire. I'm satirizing the idea of like, hey, what if there was a guy who was wrong about a lot of things? I've done all kinds of things in my life and just said, oh, it was satire, so you can't get mad. Like one time I sabotaged a hot air balloon and it went down and everyone was like, why did you do that? I'm like, it's a satire of the Hindenburg. Don't you know history? I'm taking down the Hindenburg. Not that it needed help being taken down. Should I closed a thing that shouldn't have been closed in the first place? Some might ask why it's even open. I don't know. Programs, they're open, they're closed. You can't keep track of what these things are doing. You can't keep track of programs. I think computers should be harder to control. I think programs should just open and close. They should move around the screen. And you can just kind of look at them as if they're just like farm animals wandering in the pasture. You have the Adobe Update software, and then you have the software that's used to update the Adobe Update software. And they're just fighting each other for supremacy. No one's sure who outranks the other. Adobe Updater has to update things at all costs, but if Adobe Updater is being updated, it has to close, which means it can't do any updating, so it won't do it. That's why I don't use computers anymore. I'm recording this episode on a Game Boy Color. What was the deal with the original Game Boys not being backlit? I mean, I know what the deal was. The screens weren't that good. I know that. But I remember for the Color having to buy an add-on light so you could play in the dark. And that really doesn't seem to make any sense. It's like if at first they had like nerfed televisions. You literally have to watch TV by candlelight. Otherwise, you're like, why does Charlie Chaplin look like he's in the shadow dimension? Of course, nowadays, screens, you know, they can do anything. They can raise your family. I mean, they are. They actually are. I don't know what to do about it. I really don't know what to do about it. But if that's going to be the case, they might as well be good quality screens, you know. Kids should grow up seeing the Teletubbies in such crystal clear high fidelity that there's no way to convince them that the Teletubbies are not real creatures. This episode brought to you by the Yellow Teletubby. The Yellow Teletubby's got his own podcast. It's called Tell-a-Tubby. And according to the Teletubbies wiki, which has just popped up with a pop-up that says, please help us personalize your experience. I'm an adult or I'm a kid. Which one should I pick? I'm going to start with the kid version. We'll get the sanitized version of Lala and what she's all about. She is yellow and has a curly antenna on her head. Her favorite thing is a giant orange ball. Yeah, I'm sure that's what they want us to think. So, now we're going to get the adult 18 plus perspective on Lala. Okay, here we go. Here's the real juice on Lala. When Lala gets frustrated, she sometimes says a rather strange word, bibbly cheese. See, I don't like that. Honestly, I don't think she wants that getting out there. Does she know that's on there? I gotta move on from this. Listen to the Yellow Teletubbies podcast. So coming up later on the show, we have an animal trainer. He's got animals. He's coming out here. But first, it's a message from the Blue Teletubby. Blue Teletubby remembers a different time in America. A time when dreams meant something. Friendship, family, love. Traditional American values. A vote for Blue Teletubby is a vote for democracy. Blue Teletubby, putting the blue in red, white, and blue. Running for Senate, 2028. So, and unfortunately, like, there's an equal airtime kind of doctrine going on here, so I think I have to do messages for all the other Teletubbies now. It wouldn't be fair to, like, pit them against each other like this, where I give one a platform or the other, and I don't give the others a chance to give me something. So I've taken the liberty of soliciting from all of the Teletubbies messages they might want to have on the podcast. Poe, the red Teletubby, just said, I love you, Tinky Winky. Because as I found out from the fandom page as well, Poe is really close to... This is verbatim from the Teletubbies wiki. Poe is really close to Tinky Winky, having a crush on him. This is insane. Is this some sort of drawn-out will they, won't they situation? Well, you know what? It's great that Tinky Winky also left a message for us. Tinky Winky just wants to shout out to Loveheart. He wants Loveheart to take him back. Again, I'm just learning this information from the wiki. I don't know who Loveheart is, but it really does say he is Loveheart's ex-boyfriend. In the Teletubbies movie, he becomes Loveheart's last kiss before death? What? He also reacts to the E. coli scare in Australia, Canada, Japan, and Spain from non-contaminated fruits that make even fruit salad look safe to eat. What does that mean? They make fruit salad? What? I gotta close this. Look, I gotta just focus on something else other than the Teletubbies for once in my fucking life. I always thought they were just like all in a polycule together. I didn't think there were the contours of that dynamic were that complicated. But you got some of them have gone through heartbreak. I'm gathering from reading the wiki that actually the Teletubbies are supposed to be aliens. That almost makes the show make sense. Almost. But anyway, we have sitting across from me, I didn't introduce him because I didn't notice he was here. He has so little presence. But our animal trainer, Hrothgar? Am I getting that right?
Hey guys, me, Hrothgar, bro. How you doing today?
Fine.
What's so funny?
You just have a really beautiful, mellifluous voice, so I'm just laughing because it's so good.
Great.
So who'd you bring for a visit today, Hrothgar?
You familiar with Millipedes?
I mean, not on a personal level. Are you gonna tell me you brought in millipedes instead of real animals?
A millipede's an animal. More than 2 legs, it's an animal.
Okay, so a chair is an animal?
Well, it's a little bit different.
You have to admit to me that a chair is an animal. Literally, by you sitting here in front of me, you're committing a crime. You're abusing a living being.
Look, man, I gotta do my taxes later. Can we get this over with?
Why are you doing your taxes now? It's December.
Because I own so many animals.
Why are you crying? Why are you crying about the taxes?
I'm not crying, I just talk like this. I own so many animals, I gotta fill out all kinds of different forms you've never even heard of.
You have the worst voice I've ever heard in my life. This is the worst voice I've ever heard.
You know, if you own a lizard, there's a lizard form. There's a form just for lizards.
Look, you've already had an emotional breakdown and you haven't even brought an animal out yet.
The millipede is out.
Where? Where is it? Where is it?
I'm just kidding, I didn't bring a millipede. I'm just testing you to see how you react to very stressful situations.
Why are you like this? Why do you sound like that, and why are you like this?
Bring out the snakes!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is this one just under the couch?
The snakes are metaphors.
A metaphor for, an animal instead of an animal? Like, when I asked you to come out here and bring animals, I didn't mean your abstract interpretation of what the animal represents.
But I did bring some real animals.
Okay, well.
Did you notice that fly buzzing around the room?
Yeah.
Well, there's one.
So you brought the fly?
You're not a good host.
What? What do you mean? I'm asking all the right questions.
You're not good at this.
Oh, okay, and you're great. You're great at being an animal trainer. What do you train the fly to do?
You know all the ones you see rubbing their little hands together?
Yeah.
I taught them all how to do that.
I always just thought that was a behavior that was just built into their brains and nervous systems.
Nope, I showed that one to them. I showed them when
Okay, can you just... You get worse when you get, like, kind of worked up? So, are there any other animals?
Yeah, I got one for you.
Great, can't wait to see what the... Okay. Alright. Alright, great. So... I'll just describe what happened when I asked if he had any more animals. He just pulled his dick out through his pants and then he walked out the room. So... Hrothgar, I think he'll be here every week, so that'll be good. That'll be really fun for everybody. Such as the people who are already here every week. For example, you know, Slurp Von Lipstick, who was recently caught on video saying he doesn't think that cops should have guns, they should have swords. That made everybody go crazy. It doesn't matter what side of any issue you're on, that's gonna piss you off somehow. So he's really getting it from all sides. I feel really bad for him. I think cops should have a yo-yo and they can just do cool tricks while crimes are going on around them. Which is another thing Slurp Von Lipstick said. He thinks crime should just be allowed to happen. And he doesn't believe that justice should be served to anybody, even those who deserve it. He's completely anti-justice. You never met somebody like this. They're like, I like it when stuff is unfair. Not even because it personally benefits me, but I just enjoy the concept of unfairness. These are his words, not mine. Well, anyway, here he is, right on time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Slurp Von Lipstick again. Again! I know. It seems like he was just here. Yes, indeed. Well, you know, I was just here, and, sure, I might have said cops should have swords, but if you watch the full clip, I also said to balance that, every citizen should be issued a mandatory shield. An iron shield. You have to have your shield on you at all times. Because the cops are OP now. They're slicing and dicing. I don't know. It's not that, like, I think it's a good idea. I just think it'd be something we could do to make stuff more interesting. It would probably be better than guns. You've tuned to Time Check, which is where we talk about gun control. Every episode. It's Gun Control Corner. It's everyone's favorite corner. It's one of those corners you just hide it and hope he doesn't find you. The man with the gun. I mean, or the sword. Holy, oh my god, okay, alrighty. Okay, so there's a bunch of millipedes and snakes everywhere. What were they, under the rug? But yeah, everything else has been great with me. I recently went to the Atomic Clock in Boulder, Colorado. Kind of waste of money. It was really kind of too small to see. The atomic clock isn't so much a clock as it is just an atom that is allowing time to continue. If the atom is destroyed, then it ends time. So there were a bunch of guys guarding it. They didn't have swords, though. They had guns. I'm like, what if you accidentally shoot the atom with the gun? Then what? So I was kind of egging them on. I really think most people there didn't really like me that much. But, you know, and to anybody from the Atomic Clock Research Center who's listening to this, I'm sorry that we got off on a bad foot, but I'm really a nice guy. I appreciate time. I appreciate what you do, obviously. I mean, Jesus Christ, you could protect that atom at all costs. But honestly, between that and the whole sword thing, it hasn't been my year, so here's to 2025. Slurp Von Lipstick needs another 365 days to make it happen. And honestly, if it doesn't happen by then, I'm going to Boulder, and I'm gonna destroy that atom. I'm gonna split it in half. Hopefully that doesn't cause any negative reaction. Oh well, anyway, the current time, the time at which I am reading this, not the time you're listening. It's 12:06 a.m. By the way, like, I don't know if this adds anything to this, but I've been covered in millipedes and snakes this entire time. And if I sound like I'm not afraid, I definitely am. I'm just a professional. It's weird, like, why are they called millipedes? That seems like it's setting an unusually high expectation. Like, if you're God, or if you're the weirdo, or whatever weirdo is responsible for centipedes, you're showing it to someone, you're like, hey, here's this idea I had, centipedes. And you can take a look at it and be like, yeah, that looks like maybe it's about 100 legs. And then this same guy goes, okay, here's my next invention. A millipede. And having never seen one before, you begin to panic. Sweat drips across your face. A millipede? What is he talking about? He has a million peds? Nobody has that many peds yet. And then you actually see a millipede, you're like, okay. I don't think so. I'm not falling for this. You don't have a million legs. And according to the internet, no millipede was known to have 1,000 legs until 2021. Commonly, it's between 34 and 400 legs. So, still off by several orders of magnitude. Personally, as a man with 2 legs, I'm gonna say, if you can't get by with 2, you're doing something. You're making it too complicated. To be honest, I could get away with 1, but it'd have to be dead center. It'd have to be right in the middle for perfect balance. Like, you would see me from a distance and you'd be like, is that a flamingo or is that Slurp Von Lipstick? Sorry, phone line's lighting up. Don't know this number. Hello?
Hello. This is Cornelius from the Atomic Clock Research Center.
Oh, hey. Oh, cool. Hey, did you, I didn't see your, you didn't add me on LinkedIn. I saw you didn't add, why didn't you add me on LinkedIn?
Oh, I'm on Plankton.
You're on Plankton?
I just wanted you to know you're banned from the Atomic Clock Research Center for the foreseeable future.
Literally, I didn't do anything. Are you talking about when I was complaining because I couldn't see it? Because I had traveled that far to see a clock, and you guys are like, you're probably not really going to be able to see the clock.
I just wanted to say we're very disappointed in your behavior, especially when you tried to get at the atom and you kept trying to say I'm gonna destroy. Do you know what that would do? Do you know what that would do if you destroyed that atom? You have no idea the forces you are messing with.
Alright. A little dramatic for a guy who works at a clock. You work at a clock. What do you say in the morning? You say, honey, I'm going to the clock.
You make a mockery of everything I do.
Not everything you do. I don't know what else you do. Maybe you do other things that are cool, but this stuff with the clock is dumb. You know it.
How dare you?
Yeah, I don't like it. Can't even see it. Well, thanks a lot, Cornelius. You added me on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I got the invitation.
Great. It's good. I just like to connect with others. Okay, thank you so much, Cornelius. I'm gonna hang up now, okay?
Good. I need to go anyway. I need to go make sure the atom's okay.
Alright. Alright, thank you so much, Cornelius. That's it for Cornelius. That's it for me. I've been Slurp Von Lipstick, and now I'm off the clock. That's right, the new behind-the-scenes podcast of Time Check. It goes into all the different kinds of sodas I drink before every time check to get me amped up, ready to go. I'm ready to fight, I'm ready to kill. Thanks, everybody. Alright, yeah. Give it up. Yes, if you've gotten a link or whatever it's called on LinkedIn, if you got like a friend request from Slurp Von Lipstick, you can report that to the mods at LinkedIn, because he's not supposed to be allowed on there. Because technically they don't see him as really being employed or having any employment experience at all. Because he's just a guy who knows what time it is. I mean, really, it's not a job, according to LinkedIn. So that's their opinion on that, and I made my opinions known. You know, my opinions on centipedes, millipedes. I don't know, but I wouldn't want to be the guy working on, left foot 479 on a millipede. If I was called upon from the heavens to work on the millipede, I would have been like, why do I even need to be here for this? We all could have come up with the idea and one guy could have implemented it. This millipede could have been an email. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you get at me on LinkedIn, put me in your circle or your cube or your job clubhouse, or just add me to something. Let's work together. Let's make a millipede. See you later.